freedom of speech does not protect you praising North Korean regime or Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader. North Korea, Kim Jong-un, yeah, you will go to prison for that. Yeah, that's a very strict law in Korea, and we still have that law, active law.
National Intelligence Security Charge. Does anybody know what the that mean? The detective looked me in the eye and he said, Johnny, do you know where North Korea is? I said, it's the dumbass Korea, like, north of here, like straight.
So, guys, a shocking update just came in about Johnny Somali, and this might be the most serious one yet. This time, it's not just public backlash. South Korean prosecutors are now looking into charging Johnny Somali under the national security law. Yep, you heard that correctly. Under Korean law, any action that provokes North Korea or expresses political support for them, especially while on South Korean soil, isn't considered free speech. It's seen as a threat to national security. And that's exactly what Johnny did. He mocked the Korean War, disrespected its victims, and even made statements that could be interpreted as praise for the North, all during a live stream right there in South Korea. Because of this, prosecutors are now preparing to hit him with charges under South Korea's National Intelligence and Security Act. And if he's convicted, it's not just a fine. We're talking about actual jail time. That's how serious this is. But this time, the situation has changed. This isn't just about being offensive, it's being viewed as a national security threat. A foreign troll turned into a real political problem. His next court appearance is coming up soon. And trust me, this one isn't just about internet antics or being disrespectful. This could officially make Johnny Somali an enemy of the state in South Korea. So what happened? Why did he push it this far? And what are the chances he actually ends up behind bars? Let's break it all down. First, I want to show you a video of a South Korean prosecutor who makes it very clear. If anyone praises North Korea or voices support for them, it's a serious criminal offense in Korea. This isn't just about being disrespectful. It's legally seen as a national security threat. And the government doesn't take it lightly under any circumstances. Now, sometimes if a foreigner makes a mistake without fully understanding the law, they might get off with a warning or get deported. But that's not going to happen with Johnny Somali, and I'll explain why right after this clip. Watch closely. Here's a South Korean legal expert breaking it down. If we praise Kim Jong-un or North Korea in public, we'll get arrested and go to prison. Freedom of speech does not protect you when you're praising the North Korean regime. Sure, you can support ideologies like communism or anarchism. That's still considered free speech. But praising North Korea or Kim Jong-un, that'll land you in jail. It's a very strict law in Korea, and it's still fully active. So be careful. Now, here's where Johnny always tries to play his usual card. You've heard it before. He says things like, I'm just using my freedom of speech in South Korea. I didn't break any law. Even Hank Yu recently came out and said that South Korea is denying Johnny his right to free expression. It's freedom of speech. Through this case, I realized most people don't really understand what free speech means. What you did, it was free speech. But I showed you that previous clip for a reason. Because when South Korean authorities press charges, you know Johnny is going to cry foul again, saying, I'm being silenced. But here's the truth. Under Korean law, this isn't free speech. It's a crime. And that video proves it. Now, listen carefully to what the prosecutor says next. This isn't about opinions. It's about legal consequences. Let's finish the clip. The only way to avoid prison after praising Kim Jong-un or the regime is to convince the police that you genuinely didn't know who they were, that you didn't understand. They're considered South Korea's main enemy. Sometimes, as a foreigner, you may be forgiven for not knowing the historical context. But still, yes, you can face criminal charges. So yes, ignorance might save some people. But Johnny Somali doesn't qualify. And honestly, I don't think South Korean law enforcement is buying his act. He can't just play dumb and say, "Oh, I didn't know." Because here's the thing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He openly threatened South Korea's National Intelligence Service and bragged about provoking North Korea. He literally challenged the system like he's above the law. Here's the clip if you forgot what he said. They say the National Intelligence Service is coming for me. Tell them to come find me. I'm not scared. Shout out North Korea. Shout out Peng. Shout out Kim Jong-un. That's my guy till the day I die. South Korea. And that's not all. If you've followed him for a while, you'll know he's repeatedly praised Kim Jong-un and made dangerous comments like, "Nuke South Korea. I just hope I'm not here when Kim Jong-un presses the red button. Please, Kim Jong-un, hit that button and turn this place into Fallout New Vegas." I've said it before. Johnny should have been held accountable long ago for how he's been disrespecting South Korea. But until now, no serious legal action was taken. That's finally changing. Prosecutors are stepping in, and there's a real chance he'll be charged this time. Let's not forget, he also mocked the Comfort Woman statue, one of the most emotional and symbolic memorials in Korean history. And even then, he brushed it off as free speech. He even went to the North Korean border and said things like, "I think North Korea is fascist." But at least they're honest. South Korea pretends not to be. But they take crazy action just because I touched a statue. You guys want to silence me, jail me, even kill me, so I might as well be in North Korea. So, yeah, all the evidence is right there. Johnny Somali provoked North Korea, insulted South Korean history, and mocked national security laws. But for a long time, the system let him slip through. Why? Because Johnny knows how to play dumb at just the right moment. He's not clueless. He's calculated. He even admits it. When detectives questioned him, he acted like he didn't understand. He stayed silent. That's what makes him dangerous. He's not just a loudmouth streamer. He's a manipulator, and he's pretty good at dodging consequences. National Intelligence Security charges? What does that even mean? I got interrogated 2 days ago. It's March 6th. The detective asked, "Do you know where North Korea is?" I said, UHH north of here. Then he asked, "What's your relationship with North Korean communists?" I said, "Right to remain silent. So you see, Johnny Somali is toying with the system. It's honestly shocking. Is South Korean intelligence really unable to see through his act? If they don't put the pressure on him now, and he keeps pretending to be clueless, we could see this cycle repeat again. And that's the real issue here. South Korean prosecutors must take this seriously. Johnny Somali needs to face the consequences. Because if they don't, then maybe Johnny Somali really is playing the system better than anyone expected. What do you think? Let me know.